वृद्धि दरको त्यो लक्ष्य हासिल गर्नको लागि हामीलाई विदेशी लगानी पनि चाहिएको छ। तर अहिले जुन ब्याङ्किङ इन्डेक्समा इम्प्रुभमेन्ट देखिए तापनि जुन उद्योग वाणिज्य महासङ्घमा हामी साना र मझौला उद्योगीहरूको एउटा गुनासो के आएको छ भने ठुला उद्योगी व्यवसायहरूले सायद लोन एक्सेस पनि गर्न सक्छन्, तर निजी क्षेत्रका ब्याङ्कहरूले साना र मझौला उद्योगी व्यवसायहरूलाई अझ पनि ऋण प्रवाह गर्नको लागि एकदमै ठुलो समस्या रहेको छ, खास गरेर यस्तो समयमा जब तरलताको समस्या अहिलेसम्म सुल्झेको छैन। र यसमा पनि सायद हामीले आउने समयमा ध्यान पुर्याउनु जरुरी छ जस्तो लाग्छ। यस्तै गरेर हामी लेबरको कुरा गरौँ, हामी यसमा पनि केही इम्प्रुभमेन्ट देखिएको छ। म आफै पनि यसमा धेरै काम गरेकोले म भन्न सक्छु। जुन श्रम सम्बन्ध नेपालमा सायद 10 वर्षमा थियो र त्यसपछि र अहिले जुन श्रम सम्बन्ध छ त्यसमा आकाश पातालको फरक आएको छ। हामी पहिलाभन्दा हाम्रो श्रम सम्बन्ध धेरै नै इम्प्रुभमेन्ट भइसकेको छ र यो जुन एउटा ठुलो चुनौती थियो नेपालको औद्योगिक क्षेत्रको लागि त्यो पनि पहिलाभन्दा धेरै सुध्रिसकेको छ। र अब आउने समयमा नयाँ श्रम ऐनले अझ पनि यसलाई सुधार हामी बनाउँछौँ भन्ने कुरा अस्योर पनि गर्नुभएको थियो र यो चाहिँ पक्कै पनि चाँडै हुन्छ भन्ने हामीले विश्वास लिएका छौँ, किनभने यो भएमा अझ पनि हामीले यो इन्डेक्सलाई अझ सुधार्न सक्छौँ जस्तो लाग्छ। र त्यस्तै गरेर बिजुलीमा पनि एउटा इन्डेक्स हामीले हेऱ्यौँ, त्यसमा धेरै इम्प्रुभमेन्ट भएको छ। पक्कै पनि 16 घण्टाको लोड सेडिङको तुलना गर्ने भने अहिले हामी धेरै सुधारिसकेका छौँ। तर मैले भन्नै पर्छ बिजुलीको आए तापनि बिजुलीको गुणस्तर अहिले ठुलो समस्या रहेको छ र अझ पनि धेरै धेरै ठुला उद्योगहरूमा बिजुलीको कनेक्सनहरू भएका छैनन् या हुँदाखेरि धेरै नै समय लाग्ने एउटा अवस्था रहेको छ। यसमा सुधार आवश्यकता छ। र बिजुलीमा अहिले विगतमा भएको एउटा समस्या जुन सायद मिडियामा पनि धेरै आएको छ, यो चाहिँ डेडिकेटेड लाइन सम्बन्धी समस्या। र माननीय अर्थमन्त्रीज्यूलाई म एउटा निवेदन के गर्न चाहन्छु भने यस्ता समस्याहरूले झन् एउटा मनोबल खस्दाखेरि यो जुन एउटा डुइङ बिजनेसको जुन इज अफ डुइङ बिजनेसमा यसको इन्डेक्समा केही फरक पर्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। र मलाई 5 मिनट मात्रै भनौँ भनिएको छ। यो भन्दाखेरि पनि एउटा लामो बाटो हामीले तय गर्न जरुरी छ। यो एकदमै पोजिटिभ एउटा मुभ भएको छ। यसमा हामी सबै क्षेत्रले हामीले धन्यवाद दिनै पर्छ। र यो कुनै पनि सुधारको कार्यक्रमहरू एकै दिनमा हुने होइन, तर एउटा डाइरेक्सन हामीले पाएका छौँ र यो डाइरेक्सनमा हामी हिँड्दै गइसकेपछि जुन भइसकेपछि हामीले के आधारमा कसरी काम गरेका थियौँ र यो हामी कसरी यो स्थितिमा आइपुग्यौँ भन्ने सार्वजनिक जानकारी दिन सक्ने र आगामी दिनमा हामी कसरी अगाडि बढ्छौँ भन्ने विषयमा सार्वजनिक रूपमा प्रेसका माध्यमबाट जानकारी दिने अवसर जुटाइदिनु भएकोमा यसलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। प्रधानमन्त्री मन्त्रिपरिषद कार्यालयले सबै कामको संयोजन गरेको थियो। विभिन्न मन्त्रालयहरूसँग सम्बन्धित भएका विषयहरू थिए। विशेष गरी 7वटा भन्दा बढी मन्त्रालयहरू र धेरै निकायहरू यससँग जोडिएका थिए। ती सबै निकायहरूलाई एकै ठाउँमा ल्याएर एउटै प्लेटफर्ममा ल्याएर उहाँहरूको कार्यलाई अलिक प्रभावकारी कसरी बनाउने, विशेष गरी डुइङ बिजनेस इन्डिकेटरमा आधारित भएका सूचकहरूको ग्याप कहाँ छ, हामी कहाँ छौँ र कहाँ जानुपर्छ भन्ने विषयमा ग्याप एनालाइसिस गरेर त्यो ग्याप एनालाइसिसको बेसिसमा रिफर्मका एजेन्डाहरू सेटअप गर्न हामीले सक्षम भएका छौँ, सफल भएका छौँ र परिलक्षित गर्न पनि सफल भएका छौँ। त्यसकारणले यहाँ आज यो स्थिति पुर्याउनका लागि योगदान गर्नुहुने सबै मन्त्रालयका साथीहरूलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। प्रधानमन्त्री मन्त्रिपरिषद कार्यालयले एउटा संयोजन गरेको थियो, त्यो संयोजनकारी भूमिका निर्वाह गरेको थियो र धेरै कामहरू यहाँ गर्नुपर्ने बाँकी थिए र गरिएको पनि थियो र अझै पनि गर्ने क्रममा रहेको छ। विशेष गरी यो अवसरमा चाहिँ मैले गत वर्षको अवस्था सम्झन्छु। माननीय अर्थमन्त्रीले हामी सार्ने हुने बित्तिकै 110मा पुग्ने बित्तिकै 105बाट बढ्ने बित्तिकै के कारण हो त भनेर यसको निटिग्रिटी खोज्न खोज्ने कुरा गर्यो। वर्ल्ड ब्याङ्कको एउटा टिम नै मगाएर के हो त हाम्रो अवस्था भनेर विश्लेषण गर्न खोज्यौँ र त्यो विश्लेषण गरिसकेपछि त्यहाँको यो टिमको एउटा चाहिँ मेम्बर मलाई सम्झना आउँछ करिम भन्ने हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँ चाहिँ आएर यहाँको स्थितिको बारेमा जानकारी गराउनु हो, सबै हुनुहुन्छ र उहाँका आधारमा हामीले रिफर्मका एजेन्डाहरू सेटअप गऱ्यौँ र डुइङ बिजनेसको मिसनमा पनि हामी त्यो अनुसारको तयारी गरेर गयौँ र तयारी गर्दा हाम्रा धेरै कुराहरू हामीले भनेका कुराहरूलाई उहाँले चाहिँ आत्मबोध गर्नुभयो र त्यसको बेसमा हामीले छलफललाई अगाडि बढाउँदै गयौँ र पछि बिचमा जस्तो लाग्छ एउटा अन्तरिम प्रतिवेदन आयो। त्यो अन्तरिम प्रतिवेदनमा त हामी अलिकति झस्केकै थियौँ र
त्यो बेलामा मैले कन्ट्रीमा हारिससँग कुरा गरेको थिएँ। I have been contact with Harris about the interim report. त्यो बेलामा उहाँहरूले चाहिँ असाध्यै धेरै कुराहरू राख्दै पनि पछिल्लो चोटिमा के हो भने तिमीहरू रिफर्म चाहिँ गर्यौ तर रेस्पोन्डेन्टले यसलाई स्वीकार नगरेको कारणले तिमी यसमा छैनौ भनेर जस्तो खालको रिपोर्टहरू आएपछि हामीले आर्ग्यु गर्यौँ र सम्भवतः 3 घण्टाभन्दा बढी चाहिँ वर्ल्ड ब्याङ्कको अफिसबाट भिसी मार्फत हामीले के गर्यौँ भने आर्ग्यु गर्यौँ यो होइन हाम्रो यो अवस्था छ हाम्रो समस्या यो छ भनेपछि कतिपय कुराहरू सन् 2021 को रिपोर्टमा रिफ्लेक्ट गर्ने प्रतिबद्धता आएको छ भने कतिपय चाहिँ यसैमा रिफ्लेक्ट भएको छ। यदि हामी के छौँ भने हामी ट्र्याकमा छौँ र त्यो ट्र्याकमा भएको कारणले हामीले यसलाई अब निरन्तर अगाडि बढाउनुपर्छ। एक स्टकको जबले मात्रै काम गर्दैन भन्ने आधारमा सामान्य प्रधानमन्त्रीज्यूसँगको अनुमतिले
countries we are 94. So 95 would be the cut-off point to become in the first half. So we really appreciate for the hard work done by our colleagues. And in politics, ministers are there to take credit, but the hard work is done by somebody else. So, but I don't want to look at injustice. So first of all, let me recognize my colleagues in the ministries, particularly in Prime Minister's office. We have worked very hard to follow up on the progress we have made and to convince the people who are engaged in preparing this report and convincing them the kind of hard work we have done and making them realize what we have done so far. We have crossed our student life in school days. You work very hard, you study very hard, you write good exams, you write good answers, but finally if you don't get good score, you get frustrated. And oftentimes that derails the whole diligent student and starts becoming backbencher. Therefore, scoring and evaluation is critical when you have to have your career path. Our colleagues worked very hard. They expected to improve the Doing Business Index, and had there been no recognition of the hard work done, perhaps that would have seriously frustrated us from doing further efforts to reform and to improve our score. But this, having achieved significant progress in this course, encourages us even more to do much better in the subsequent times, and we have already started doing it. Some of them have already been implemented as well. The cut-off date was May 29, 2019. After that, we had the budget and we have several reforms. We have enacted several laws even after May 2019. The regulations which largely determine how the environment for doing business would be dictated are being improved, and we are getting suggestions and recommendations from different agencies. That includes our private sector and that includes our external development partners. We are open to get suggestions, and we rather encourage all the stakeholders to have their suggestions and inputs to the process, not only in the legal drafting process but also in drafting regulations, and we'll be happy to get feedback on what are the procedural issues and what are the enforcement issues, and we would be happy to address them as well. We know legislation is never enough. Any legislation, if that's not properly followed by regulation and procedures, and then the work manner or style or behavior of the decision makers, simply enactment of laws won't suffice. And as we say, the real test of pudding would be eating. And private sector, if they don't benefit, if they don't feel an easiness in doing business, whatever laws, whatever procedures we simplify, that doesn't make much sense to us. So we have to see, and we have to get feedback from all the private sector as to where pending reforms are yet to be addressed or corrected. To worry that there could be multiple agencies to levy tax, multiple agencies where tax have to be paid, maybe tax burden increases, or maybe there could be more than one regulated bodies for the same firm. So many things and many decision-making processes and long transition, everything put together. Now, in the second year of fiscal federalism, we have achieved significant score in doing business, improving the doing business condition. What does it mean? we have been successful to make the transition as short as possible so far as fiscal federalization is concerned. For that, we must appreciate the efforts made by our parliamentarians who were so successful and who were so encouraging us to enact the laws. That was the fundamental thing. We were able to do dozens of laws in 1 year or so. It's not a simple thing. Countries have taken years and years to discuss tax policies, tax enforcement mechanisms, budget release process, resource sharing process, everything, reporting to auditing. We have done most of them in a year's time. There are still smaller issues pending. There are some issues of double taxation, yes. There are issues of being overtaxed in some of the cases, yes. But these are exceptional cases. On an average, we have done much better. That is an encouragement to further successfully implement fiscal federalism, and that takes us to a new height of our encouragement to do even better, so that from next year we don't see any problem related to taxation or farm administration. Some other issues moving forward. First, like in some of the cases, property registration and also property rights. Perhaps property registration relates to the fees and time taken to transfer the ownership. I'm here talking about more of the properties which are intangible drafted, and we will do it soon, and its regulation also. We have to simplify our bankruptcy law because getting insolvent and then taking years and years before an insolvent company is totally closed doesn't make much sense unless exit of any company is made as easy as the entry. People say only making entry easy and exit very difficult would be just like opening the gates of the jail where nobody wants to enter. You have also exit kind of facilitated. So we don't want our registration as an entry to jail. We want to make it easy for them also to exit. So this insolvency law, bankruptcy procedure, and doing all these things in time would be important with us. Access to electricity is one, but access to road. Access to bad road also, and having a bad road, bad transportation system, transportation syndication system, no competition in the service providers. There are several other issues which not only affect cost, but also they affect the lives of people. So we have to see what kind of infrastructure would ease the business environment. Not necessarily they should be in doing business index, but we have to do something beyond, which must facilitate the private sector to come in a more comfortable way to do business. The customs infrastructure, we have one ICP now. We'll be having one more introduced this fiscal year, which is Viratnagar. But we are equally concerned that we should complete Bhairava and Nepalganj ones. And there, it's not only the checkpoints or whatever, we have to make trade facilitation easier in the coming times. Similar would be some other tax and revenue measures that includes addressing the kind of customs duties which might be cumbersome for some people in terms of interpretation and also in terms of making decision makers to play a discretionary power. We want to do away with all the discretionary powers in taxation. Discretion raises power, monopoly power, and that takes to leakage of resources through corruption. So, corruption is monopoly minus plus discretion minus accountability. That's what we know now. So we have to make everybody accountable. This is where we have been working, and fiscal procedure and accountability act we have passed in the parliament. That would also apply to several other activities, and in coming years, we'll see that every authority who has got some kind of responsibility or discretionary power must also be made accountable to what they are doing. accountable to the people, accountable to the legal system, and accountable to the broader development community with which we have been working. Signatures. The only thing is that for validity and the legal recognition of those kind of documents and signatures, if we need to enact a new IT law or improve upon the existing